After moving a few meters beyond the cave entrance, Emma stopped and turned around. The cave was carved into the side of a big rocky slab that protruded from a mountainside. Someone in the past, Tuck perhaps, had created a narrow switchback trail that led up the mountainside toward a promontory about 40 meters up. This created a crude and fairly unsafe lookout post, which had been coated in ice throughout the winter and early spring. However, this morning it looked clearer than usual. If the trail is clear, the pass must be clear, she thought. She started up the trail, picking her way carefully along the loose rocks and dirt. They'd never made it to the hunting cabin. The old trail to the cabin led over some mountains and down into a valley, but they'd found the pass snowed in. This cave had been the only accessible alternative, and so had begun a long, miserable winter. This morning, the warmth of the morning sunlight on Emma's face indicated spring was finally here to stay, and it only strengthened her hope that the pass would be clear. As she ascended toward the lookout, she hugged the rock wall on one side, though she'd expected the ground to be more slippery than it was. When she reached the lookout, she edged out toward the overlook, moving in a crouch as she gazed down into the field. It was a perfect place for containing the animals, an open meadow about 100 meters across, with dense trees acting as walls, and a perfect little pond in the middle. Emma's angle from above gave her a long view beyond the trees, where the line of mountains curved around to the south. From here, she could see part of the pass as it rose above the trees a few kilometers in that direction and followed a cleft through the mountains. Through that pass was the old hunting lodge, a place that had taken on almost mythical overtones in her mind. Emma's heart leapt. Through the gap where the pass cut into the mountains, early morning sunlight carved a broad path of light that spread out over the treetops below. It was practically a shining arrow pointing the way. The pass was open. "We're free of this place," Emma thought. "We're finally free." She started to rush back down the path, but the soles of her boots slipped on the rocks. She went down to her knees, scraping her winter pants and tearing open one knee. It didn't matter. Indeed, she hardly cared. Picking herself up, she resumed her descent, moving as fast as she dared, her heart pounding. As she approached the cave entrance, she spotted her father making his way back from the meadow, and she couldn't decide which way to go. Should she race out to meet him and tell him the news, or should she rush into the cave and tell everyone else? Her indecision caused her to do a little shuffle step for a couple of seconds, but finally she went back into the cave, running past the wagon and through the open space where they penned the animals at night. At the back, a curtained doorway led into the deeper chambers where the family resided. As Emma pushed through the curtains, she saw the network of rooms that had been carved and shaped to make them more habitable. "Everyone!" She spoke a bit louder than she intended, and her voice carried deep into the cave. Emma clapped a hand over her mouth as she stumbled to a stop. The first room was a communal gathering area, with rugs laid down on the floor and wood planks set across boxes and barrels to serve as tables and chairs. Darrell was the only one in the room at the moment, and he was currently bent over the fresh water barrel, using a wooden ladle to scoop water into a cup. The sudden loud noise caused him to lurch up and turn toward her with a scowl. No, it's way too early to start screaming," he said in a sleep-thick voice. "What are you doing?" A row of candles flickered on one of the makeshift tables, providing the only real light inside the main room. They had a small iron brazier, but the coals had burned out in the night. As the curtains parted on the other side, some of the candles went out. Emma's mother, Marion Healy, appeared in the gap. She'd layered on 2 bathrobes, along with sweatpants, to stave off the cold. Behind her, Emma caught a glimpse of the crude chamber her parents had been using as a bedroom.
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.